and welcome back to game week number 2, league phase number 2 of the Champions League. Yes, we have got some bumper games in a bumper Champions League match day number 2 after a match day group league phase 1 that was very up and down. We see what happens in league number 2. Hopefully you can see along here. We've added in and up here as well some brand new lights. Me and the girlfriend put it up on Sunday. So yeah, that's something to come forward on the channel. We should get something like a long man just to make it even nicer. Oh, what's my about one out of lights? So yeah, see what we can do in game week number 2 of the Champions League. Boys, if you want a discount on your energy, go and get my discount in the description. New Dan10 at checkout. Peace. Starting off with Atalanta versus Club Brugge. Club Brugge beat. We'll start with the away teams first. So Club Brugge played against AS Monaco in round 1 and they won by 4 goals to 1. They beat them by 4 goals to 1. And against a Atlanta team who played against PSG and got absolutely pooed all over. That game was 4-0 to Paris Saint-Germain in that game. And this game I could see it being cagey again, but I can't. I can see it going 2 ways here. Either a draw or a win. I'm gonna go a win to Club Brugge by 2 goals to 0. We now go to Calac versus Real Madrid. Speaking of Real Madrid, they were involved in a game against Olympique Le Marseille, which they managed to win 2 goals to 1, and Calac got absolutely beaten by Sporting Club de Portugal, and they're going to lose again to Real by 3 goals to 0. Is there any saying in this game? They're just going to lose in this game. And we now go to Atletico de Madrid versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, this game, Frankfurt played against Galatasaray and they absolutely embarrassed them by 5 goals to 1. That looks hideous. 5 goals to 1 against them, and Atletico de Madrid played against Liverpool and were involved in an absolute mental game. Diego Simeone lost his pants. Well, lost his shit basically, because Liverpool were 2-0 up, right? Atletico de Madrid put it up at the 2-0, and then in the 90+ second minute, Liverpool scored through a Virgil van Dijk header. So yes, and that was crazy how Liverpool did that. I mean, and if you're Real, if you're Atletico, you'll want the pay. Against the Frankfurt team who are very good in European competitions, I'm going to go 2-1 win to Atletico de Madrid. We now move to Bodo Glimt versus Tottenham Hotspur, who played each other in the semi-finals of the Europa League last year. Over 2 legs, and Spurs beat them over 2, I want to say, but Champions League is different. On Spurs' return to the big time, they beat Villarreal by 1 goal to 0, and Bodo in their Champions League debut to Slavia Prague. And I'm going to say it is at Bodo, so anything's possible here. I'm going to go Bodo Glimt 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3. It'll be one of them close games because Spurs only just squeezed past, only just drew against Wolves on Saturday. That's time of recording. Saturday, as you're seeing this on the Monday. So yes, and we now go to Chelsea versus Benfica. Benfica, who played against Karabakh and they lost and then sacked Bruno Lage and has replaced him with Jose Mourinho. This is Jose Mourinho going back to Stamford Bridge. What sort of reaction will he get back at Stamford Bridge? and against a Chelsea team who were involved against Bayern München, and they lost 3-1 to Bayern München in this game. And I'm gonna go. What does it do? I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea. Will Mourinho get his way, or will he get booed? And I don't know what happened to Chelsea, but Mourinho back at Stamford Bridge is the big one there. Next game is Benfica. No, is Galatasaray versus Liverpool. As we know, Liverpool are a very good team, just scraping past Atletico de Madrid and Galatasaray losing 5-1 to Eintracht Frankfurt. And I'm going to go in this game, Liverpool to win it by 2-0. I mean, I'll move to Internazionale versus, this is Internazionale for you, but Internazionale Milano is against Slavia Prague. Milan played against Ajax and won 2-0. I'm going to win it again this time by 2-0 against the Washington. I think I'm not sure where they're from, but yeah, against them. Now we move to Marseille versus Ajax. In this game, we're gonna say it will be a close one of a 1-1 draw between Ajax and Marseille. We're gonna go to the last game on the Tuesday, which is Basel versus Borussia versus Bayern München. Now, München, as we know, are a very capable footballing team at the best of times. And I'm going to go with Bayern München 4, Basel 0. And that brings Tuesday to we now head to the games on Wednesday, starting off with Karabag versus FC Copenhagen. Copenhagen drew 2-2 to Bayer Leverkusen in number one, and obviously we know what happened with the Karabag. They won by 3-1 against them. I'm going to go with another win for Karabag, this time of 2-0. And we now go to Union Saint Gilloise versus Newcastle on their return to the Champions League. Newcastle took Barcelona down to the last wire. 2 goals from, I'm not going to say who it is yet, but you know who it is coming though. 2 goals from a man who has been talked about recently, but on their Champions League debut, Union Saint Gilloise beat an established team in PSV Eindhoven. Yes, they beat PSV Eindhoven. And I think that this could be a very interesting game of 2-1 to Newcastle. Can this kickstart Newcastle's Champions League voyage? There we go. To Arsenal versus Olympiacos. Now, Arsenal. What to say about the Arsenal? We honestly beating Atletico de Bilbao by 2-0 late on. Very late on. 2 goals in the 90th. Well, 2 goals in the last 25 minutes of that game. Beaten that game. And Olympiacos played their game against Paphos and do 0-0. So they haven't got something to, but Arsenal will win it 3-0. We now go to Barcelona. This is Paris Saint-Germain. This game, you could consider this as a marquee fixture. Neither team wants to lose that game. It will be a tight, high-scoring game. From standout form, Rashford scoring 2 goals against Newcastle to win that game. And I do think this could be a very spectacular draw of 2-2. Yes, I think it's 2-2 draw in this game. We now go to Leverkusen versus PSV Eindhoven. Now, Eindhoven are good, but you know how good Leverkusen can be, drawing 2-2 against Copenhagen. I'm going to go Leverkusen 2, PSV 1. Yes, 2-1 win to Leverkusen. And now we go to Borussia Dortmund versus Athletic Club de Bilbao, who are, again, a very good footballing team. Dortmund to win it, 3-0 game. And we now go to the last 3 games of the game week number 2, which is Monaco versus Man City. Now, Monaco lost their last game 4-1, and Man City played against Napoli, 10-man Napoli, to make it, and won 2-0, which should make it routine for Manchester City of 2-0 win to the Blues. And we go to Napoli against Sporting Cluj of Portugal. That was a lovely link. Napoli, 10-man. Napoli had their captain Di Lorenzo sent off in the first half against them. So that will inhale them. But Sporting Cluj Portugal did put 4 past Calac on that day 1. And they'll win it again this year, and I think they'll win it again today. Well, Wednesday by 3. Oh no. I'm gonna go for 2. I'm gonna go for 1-1 draw in this game. We now go to Villarreal versus Juventus. Juventus were involved in a game. Again, 4-4 draw. Yes, you heard that correctly. A 4-4 draw against Borussia Dortmund. Yes, 4-4. 2 goals in the last dying moment by Dusan Vlahovic drew them that game. And against a Villarreal team who lost against Spurs, I'm going to go in this game. We won't have as many late dramas in this game, but we will have some goals. 2-2. Yes, and that will bring Champions League League phase number 2 to an end, and I will see you lot after the international break for game week match day number 3. But for now, I'll leave you with Champions League game week number 2. Goodbye.